Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing if popular book talk series are worth reading or not. Before we get into that, I would like to thank everybody so much for 300 subscribers. It is wild to me and I am so appreciative of it. And it is also wild that we're already almost to 400, which is crazy. So yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, let's get started. The first series I'm going to be talking about is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This series I've noticed seems to be like 50-50. You either really like it or you thought it was really mid. Personally, I kind of agree it was kind of mid in the first book. The second ones and the third one were like way better. Like they kept me on the edge of my seat. But the first one, it was definitely mid. It wasn't like an insane murder mystery. It was a little bit obvious on who it was. But it's still a really good book, and I do personally think everybody should read this series just because it's so good. Like, As Good as Dead was the best one in my opinion. It was insane. It put me through a roller coaster of emotions, and I loved it so much. Same with A Good Girl, Bad Blood. It was also really good, but nothing can compare to As Good as Dead in my opinion. So I personally would recommend this series, but you have to be okay with the first book not being, I guess, as good as the next books that come up. So you kind of have to push through the first one. But really, personally, I don't think you have to push through it. It's still a really good first book. It's just not insane. Like, you're not going to be dropping on the floor dead from the first book, if you know what I mean. The next one is the Powerless trilogy. This thing was incredible. Like, it was amazing. I personally have no cons with this one. It was so good. I do understand the people who don't like this series just because the plot is a little bit basic and it's not like an insane plot that you've never seen before. I feel like there are a lot of books that are similar to this. If you don't know what it's about, it's basically a fantasy version of the Hunger Games with a lot of romance in it. And it's like enemies to lovers, so you have to be okay with like really waiting for them to get together, which they wait. But I mean, this book had me crying and laughing and squealing and throwing it across the room. It's a roller coaster of emotions, literally. Like, they need to make a Powerless roller coaster. But my hot take is the second one is really boring. It is kind of good. There's definitely some good parts in it, but it was pretty boring in my opinion. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I think it is. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but it's so hard. Fearless was definitely the best one out of the whole series. Powerless was also good, but Fearless just, it tops everything. I stayed up way too late reading that book, and my sleep schedule is still messed up from it. So yeah, I definitely recommend this book series. I do think that you have to read it. You just have to read it. At least the first book. You have to at least read the first book. But personally, as soon as you read the first book, you just want to go to the second book, and then you want to go to the third book, and then you want to read the novellas. So you gotta give it a chance. If it's not for you, that's okay. I understand. But I do believe you have to give it a chance at least. So, yeah. The next one is the Cruel Prince trilogy. If you've watched my shorts, you will know that I'm not a huge fan of the first book. I think it's overrated. I already know the comments that are coming, but it's just so slow, and it took me forever to finish this book. And when I did finish this book, it put me in a reading slump, and I hate being reading slumps. So if a book puts me in a reading slump, then we're not friends. But I will agree the second book and the third book are really good. They are a little bit faster. They're still slow, but they're a little bit faster, and they're pretty interesting, and the plot's pretty good. But if the first book is slow and I'm not into it, it just kind of ruins the series for me, because I have to be hooked. I have to be ready. I'm not the type of reader who will push to finish a book. If I don't read it and like it by like the first chapter or two, then I'm gonna DNF it. I won't come back. I might come back later, but like, I don't know. I don't push myself very hard to finish a book if I'm not interested in it by the first few chapters. So personally, I would not recommend this series. I know, I'm so scared of these comments. But if you're okay and prepared to really push to the first book to get to the next two, then yeah, I recommend it. But if you're not okay with that, I don't recommend it at all. The last one is the Shadow and Bone trilogy. If you have watched my shorts, then you know how much I love this series, and it's like my pride and joy. So this series, the world is like so interesting, and the characters all have like really cool, sad backstories, and there's like just the right amount of everything. There's good romance, there's like politics, there's like everything you really want in a book, I feel like. And I do hear a lot that Six of Crows is better. I do not disagree with this. I just have never read it, so I can't agree with it until I've read it. I do really want to read it though, and something tells me it probably is just as good, if not better. But if you can't tell, I highly recommend the series, and I think it has to be like number one on your TBR. The only con I have for this series is it's kind of thick. Like the books are a little bit thick, but they're not too bad. Like I think Powerless is bigger. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is. And the chapters are a little long. They're not exactly fast, quick chapters, but that doesn't really bother me, just because every word that comes on that page is just so good and so interesting. I love Leigh Bardugo. She's amazing. But yeah, I highly recommend this series, and I think it should be number one on your TBR. Those are my opinions on if these BookTok books are worth reading or not. If you agree with some of these, then let me know in the comments, and if you disagree, also let me know, because I like to hear everybody's opinions on these books. So, respectfully, please let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye!